I don't know, what would you say as the series has gone on, it's become more, well, you mentioned the characters that recurred, and they've also almost got a life of their own by the end of the...
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of coming from doing like a lot of writing. I think this has been the best sort of character development I've ever managed to do, because normally characters are just my characters anyway. I find a lot of the time they're quite one-dimensional, but through this, they've just developed. It's just not consciously. I've not consciously developed them, but they just seem to have took on a life of their own, like you say. And now it is almost like they're not real people.
Well, they are real people.
In my mind, they are.
Yeah, but they just have developed quite well, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And it wasn't, like I say, it wasn't conscious, like, to develop certain ones more than others. They just seem to, I don't know, just like the ones who seem to get, not reaction, because we don't really have any fans, but just from me and you, I think the ones that we seem to, like, enjoy performing and writing for, seem to, you know, obviously we put them into the episodes more. And they seem to, I don't know, just from there they've developed and become the powerhouses they are today.
Yeah, 'cause I think the characters like Felix, who in the end of this current run has become the central character.
Yeah.
He kind of takes over the
The
whole
hero.
show. He's the last show is about him,
The lovable rogue.
and so it's good in that respect that we've kind of there are characters there that have created and they dominate the kind of show, like you mentioned, the kind of staple characters like Felix, Jazzy in the end.
Yeah.
Is one of them.
Yeah, he's
Dick
come
King,
a long way.
Johnny Bongs, obviously.
Yeah, and he was there from day one. He's in a way he's developed as well. I mean, at first he was literally just there doing the headlines, but as the series rolled on, he's become more integral to the show.
The world never ceases to amaze me. First they let women into the acting world, then animals, and now robots. Soon there'll be no roles left for the male actors. This reminds me of my audition for Frasier. I was down to the last two for the role of his pet dog. The director said he loved what I brought to the role, and then along comes that stupid little animal, and they decide to go in another direction. Pure speciesism, I say. When I was a boy, we wouldn't have let a robot wash our balls.
Who would you say then is your favourite character in kind of characters?
I don't know really. I like them all. They're like my children. Do like Felix. I like writing for Felix. Not so much performing his voice, because I try and remember what he sounds like, because it's usually just an American me, which his voice seems to vary from episode to episode.
Oh yeah.
Depending on which state I'm feeling that week. But I enjoy performing Jazzy McDogshafts.
Yeah, I think he's possibly my favourite at the moment, just because of his drama and...
yeah. But yeah, I do like writing for... I like writing Felix's parts.
Oh yeah, that's it, baby. It's like that scene from Lady and the Tramp. You know, the one with the spaghetti. You're lady, I'm tramp. Only the spaghetti's not coming out of my mouth. It's coming out of my pants. And it's not spaghetti, it's my cock. Let me grab those sweet, tasty melons. Let's start that motorboat running.
I don't know, on the stories though, it kind of, I don't know, like, explain the story kind of thing, because we get the stories from a website, and just like quirky little stories, but then kind of change the names or whatever, and just rip them apart, and then just even like 2 or 3 lines of the story just becomes the canvas to write.
Yeah. The story's it's not about the stories anymore. It's about creating the sort of bizarre situations that the reporters get themselves into, trying to report on that initial story, which half the time sort of has no relevance to the story.
It doesn't pretty much anymore. And then we kind of have people like Tom Morang's another one who sort of towards the end becoming one of my favourites. The fact that he's just in the studio every week kind of discussing a story. He's kind of like a fountain of knowledge, and he kind of
most of the time it sort of relates back to his sex life. His failed marriages and his love of Kahlua and gin and cowpaw cocktail.
Which is a good cocktail.
It's actually a good cocktail. I've got to recommend that cocktail.
Yeah, he's one of my favourites at the minute. I just don't know because of his dour Scottish. I can imagine him.
Yeah.
I can see him being there.
I don't know. I mean, you might disagree with me, loyal listeners / viewers, but I think my Scottish accent's probably one of the most consistently the same. I'm not going to say good, but
yeah,
consistently the same.
I
seem to maintain Scottish.
The end of every sentence sounds Scottish.
Yeah.